It started like it always did, that familiar, crushing weight on my chest, pinning me to the bed. My eyes were open, but I couldn't move a muscle, couldn't even twitch a finger. The air in my room felt thick, heavy with an unseen presence. Then I saw it, a tall, gaunt shadow coalescing in the corner, slowly drifting closer to the foot of my bed. My breath hitched, a silent scream trapped in my throat. This was my nightly tormentor, the demon I'd come to dread. But tonight, something was different. As it leaned over me, its shadowy face mere inches from mine, I didn't just feel its icy stare. I heard it. A dry, rasping whisper right next to my ear. It spoke my name. The sound itself was a cold blade slicing through the suffocating silence of my room. My name uttered not by a human voice, but by something ancient and parched, like sandpaper scraping against bone. It wasn't a question, nor a greeting. It was an acknowledgement, a claim. A jolt of pure, unadulterated terror shot through me, colder than the demon's touch. My heart hammered against my ribs, a frantic bird trapped in a cage, desperate to escape. My eyes, wide and unblinking, were locked on its shadowy form. It was still leaning over me, its indistinct face now even closer, a void of deeper blackness against the already dim room. I could feel a phantom breath, stale and chill, on my cheek. Then it spoke again. This time, the whisper was a little clearer, less a hiss, and more a deliberate articulation. "You are awake." The words weren't a question either. They were a statement of fact, delivered with an unnerving certainty that knew more than just my current state. It knew me. My mind screamed, "Of course I'm awake, you monster! You're tormenting me!" But no sound escaped my lips. My throat felt like it was packed with cotton and cement. Its shadowy head tilted slightly, as if observing a fascinating specimen. "You have been expecting me." My blood ran cold. Expecting it. Every night was a battle against its arrival, a desperate plea for morning light. But deep down, a dark, uncomfortable truth surfaced. A part of me, a small, terrified part, did expect it. Every night, before sleep claimed me, there was that gnawing anxiety, that premonition of its looming presence. It had seen that in me. It had known. A shiver, independent of my paralysis, racked my body. This wasn't just a random tormentor anymore. This thing had awareness, intelligence, and worst of all, it seemed to have an intimate understanding of my inner turmoil. The terror shifted, evolving from fear of the unknown to fear of the known. The fear that this entity was not just an external force, but something that had woven itself into the fabric of my own subconscious. It wasn't just in my room, it was in my head. It straightened slightly, its form rippling like smoke, but its gaze, if that's what those dark voids were, remained fixed on me. "We have much to discuss." The implication of that statement was far more horrifying than any physical threat it could pose. Discuss? What could I possibly discuss with a sleep paralysis demon? My entire being recoiled from the thought. This wasn't a nightmare that would end with waking up. This was something deeper, something that was now actively engaging with my reality, pulling me into its own twisted domain. The thought of it speaking again, of revealing some dark truth or making some demand, filled me with a dread so profound it threatened to shatter my very sanity. I just wanted it to disappear, to dissolve back into the shadows from which it came, to become the silent tormentor I had grown accustomed to. But it was clear those days were over. The silence that followed its declaration was even heavier than before, a suffocating blanket of unspoken horrors. I tried to scream again, to thrash, to do anything to break free, but my body remained a stone prison. My lungs burned, starved for a proper breath, yet still I couldn't move. My eyes, wide and unblinking, were fixed on its shadowy face, a featureless abyss that seemed to absorb all light. Then it leaned in again, even closer this time. I could feel the cold, stale air of its presence on my face, a sickening phantom caress. "We have heard your whispers in the dark, your fears, your doubts, your secret desires." My mind reeled. Heard my whispers? My secret desires? What was it talking about? Had it been listening to my thoughts all this time? The idea was infinitely more terrifying than any physical threat. This wasn't just a monster appearing at night. It was an entity that had infiltrated the deepest, most private corners of my being. It knew me, truly knew me, in a way no human ever could. A cold sweat broke out on my skin, despite the chill of the room. My heart was a frantic drum, threatening to burst from my chest. It paused, as if savoring my internal torment, then continued, its voice a dry rustle of dead leaves. "You call us demons, tormentors, but you are mistaken. We are merely reflections, echoes of what lies within you." Reflections? Echoes? The words twisted my gut into knots. Was it implying that it was a manifestation of my own darkest thoughts, my deepest fears? The thought was unbearable, a cruel twist of the knife. It was an insidious suggestion designed to break me, to make me question my own sanity. I wanted to deny it, to rage against the accusation, but the words were stuck, trapped behind the cement in my throat. Its form shimmered, a subtle shift that made it seem to expand, to fill the entire space above me. And now, the time has come for those echoes to speak, to demand their due. My breath caught. Demand their due? What could it possibly want from me? My soul? My sanity? The thought of it taking something, anything, filled me with an absolute crushing despair. This wasn't just a dream, a fleeting terror. This was real, and it was demanding something, something that I, paralyzed and helpless, could never hope to refuse. My vision blurred, not from tears, but from the sheer, overwhelming weight of the horror pressing down on me. I was utterly, irrevocably trapped, not just in my bed, but in a conversation with my deepest fears, brought to life. And it was just beginning. The words echoed, not just in the room, but deep within the hollow chambers of my skull. My vision swam, the shadows around the creature twisting and coiling like living tendrils reaching for me. Its form, once vaguely human, now seemed to melt and shift, becoming an amorphous, terrifying void that pulsed with an unseen energy. My eyes, locked open, felt like they were burning, yet I couldn't blink, couldn't avert my gaze from the swirling abyss that was its face. Then, a new sensation. A pressure, not on my chest, but behind my eyes, pushing outwards, as if something was trying to pry open my very thoughts. The dry, rustling whisper returned, no longer just in my ear, but inside my head, 1,000 voices speaking as one, each one a distorted echo of my own inner voice. Your due, little one, is to see, to truly see yourself, to embrace the truth you have so desperately hidden. A wave of nausea washed over me, threatening to drag me into an abyss of my own making. See myself? Embrace the truth? What truth? My mind screamed for denial, for rejection, but the voices within me were too loud, too insistent. They began to flood my consciousness with images, not of the demon, but of myself. Moments of weakness, flashes of resentment, desires I had buried so deep I thought they were gone. Ugly, selfish thoughts, petty jealousies, fleeting impulses of cruelty I had instantly suppressed. They were all there, laid bare, amplified, distorted, twisted into something monstrous. The weight on my chest intensified, no longer just a physical pressure, but a spiritual one, crushing my very soul. I was drowning in my own subconscious, dragged down by the very reflections this creature claimed to be. My heart pounded, a frantic, irregular rhythm, each beat a desperate plea for escape. But there was no escape, not from this, not from myself. The shadowy form leaned closer still, if that was even possible, its presence consuming all light, all air, all hope. Its voice, the collective whisper of my own dark thoughts, resonated through every fiber of my being, vibrating in my bones, chilling me to the core. You are not just the light, the good you portray. You are us, and we are you. Your fear is our hunger. Your doubt is our strength. Your desire is our command. As it spoke the last word, a jolt, cold and electric, shot through me. My body spasmed, a violent, uncontrollable tremor that threatened to tear me apart, yet I still couldn't move a muscle of my own volition. My mouth opened, a silent, gaping maw of terror, and I felt something, cold and sharp, slip past my lips. It wasn't air. It was a sensation of an invasive presence, something entering me, filling me, taking root. My vision blurred again, but this time, when it cleared, the room seemed different. The shadows were deeper, more defined. The demon still leaning over me, its form now a mirror, reflecting a distorted, terrifying version of my face, its eyes glowing with a malevolent, familiar light. A new voice, not a whisper, but a thought, clear as day, echoed in my mind. We are one now. The horror was complete. The last thing I remembered was that chilling declaration, we are one now. And then, a shift. Not just in my vision, but in my very being. The room was no longer just a room. It was a canvas painted with my deepest fears, my unspoken resentments, now vivid and tangible. The shadows, once lurking, now seemed to breathe, to pulse with a life that was both alien and sickeningly familiar. I woke up, or so I thought. The paralysis was gone. I could move, but the freedom felt like a cage. Every thought was a chorus, every impulse an echo of that dry, rasping whisper. My reflection in the mirror, it wasn't just me. There was a depth to my eyes, a knowing darkness that hadn't been there before. A subtle, almost imperceptible shift in my smile, a hint of something ancient and hungry. They didn't disappear when the sun rose. They didn't vanish with the light. They merely receded, not gone, but integrated. I walk among you now, a vessel, and sometimes, in the quiet moments, when my guard is down, I hear it. The collective whisper, just beneath the surface of my own thoughts, reminding me of our union. Your fear is our hunger. Your doubt is our strength. Your desire is our command. It's not sleep paralysis anymore. It's just me, or what I've become. And sometimes I wonder if you, listening to this, have ever felt that whisper too. That creeping sensation that perhaps what you call your inner demons are not so inner after all. That they are listening. waiting, and perhaps, like mine, they are ready to speak.